My name is Janae Johnson, originally from Petersburg, Virginia, and I am a 2011 graduate of Mason with a bachelor's in psychology, double minoring in tourism and events management and business, and a 2015 graduate with a master's in interdisciplinary studies and higher education. Whew, it's a mouthful. I am a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated and joined this illustrious organization in fall 2008. Fall 2008 here at George Mason through the Omicron Road chapter. And when I think about Delta Sigma Theta and my sorors, I remember being a young child in Petersburg and in my church and really being introduced to a lot of women who were a part of Delta Sigma Theta and Alpha Kappa Alpha, but I didn't really realize or know what that meant at that time. I just knew these were women who were very involved in our community, in the church, and we were always doing stuff with them. More specifically, I always recall a Relay for Life event where we were out walking for cancer, and I will never forget feeling so warm and welcomed by these women who I later realized were Deltas. And so fast forward a little bit, I arrived on the campus of George Mason University in fall 2007 and am introduced to my very first Greek experience in seeing what would later become my pro-fights. But at the time, these were just women that I didn't know as they were probating on campus. And this was the first time I'd ever seen anything like this. And I remember standing there just being in awe of this experience and how they were carrying themselves, but also presenting themselves to the campus community. And then hearing our call. So Deltas, if you don't know, we oop, oop. And I remember hearing all of the Deltas who were present collectively make this call. And it was at that moment that I realized, oh, y'all are powerful. And I felt like a beacon of light shone down. And it was at that moment that I said, I am going to be a Delta. I am currently a member of the Northern Virginia Alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And I've been a member of NOVAC for short since 2011 when I graduated from Mason. I would say there are a lot of similarities between the two in that with the undergraduate chapter, we're small and there are just a few of us. And so everyone has to pitch in and do the work and make sure that we are compliant and that we're putting on programs and that we're involved in the campus community and we're still upholding the principles and ideals that we have as women, but also more specifically as Delta women. And the same is true for the alumni chapter. It's just on a much larger scale. My chapter has over 500 members. And so you have more people to do the work, which is fantastic. But because there are more people, there's a greater area of influence. And so the work always continues. It never stops. And that's one of the things I love and admire most about the women within that I call sisters that are within this organization is that we are really committed to service and being of influence and having programming and events of consequence that not only uplift and uphold our 5 programmatic thrusts, but also in large part always benefit and serves our greater community. And I mean, it's the best place to be. Within Delta, we operate under a 5-point programmatic thrust, and the 5 points are economic development, educational development, international awareness and involvement, political awareness and involvement, and physical and mental health. Now, granted, all of the points are important. There are a lot of great programs, both nationally and locally, that chapters have implemented, but my personal favorite thrusts are educational development and physical and mental health. I'm going to focus on educational development, and our two programs that I am most proud of. One is at the national level, so all of our chapters have implemented this program. It's Delta Gems, and as a part of the Delta Gems program, we work with young ladies who are between the ages of 14 and 18, and really helping them develop and prepare and grow academically and personally. And I think that's one of the most enduring things we can do as college educated women is give back to our own communities, and then also help these younger girls see a version of themselves. And so hopefully as we're interacting with them, they see a little bit of themselves in us. And then at the local level, so my alumni chapter, we have an SOL program, stands for Strengthening Our Leaders, which is also near and dear to my heart, because in that program, we assist students in helping prepare them for their SOL program, like their SOL test that they'll be taking, specifically in reading and math. And I love getting to work with the younger kids, and we help both boys and girls. And so seeing them acquire knowledge and even be empowered by their own skill and ability, because they come in and they take a pre-test just to see where they're at. And as we work through them throughout the weeks of the program, they're constantly learning and developing. And then there is a mid-test and a post-test. And, you know, for those students who are successful in seeing progress, it's very encouraging. And then even for our students who maybe don't have as much progress, it's still an encouraging thing because they still feel supported and encouraged through participating. My greatest achievement as a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated so far has to be being recognized as a second place winner for Collegiate Advisor of the Year in 2020 in our region, which is the South Atlantic region. I was shocked, to say the least, and so humbled that I was honored with that recognition, primarily because I was simply doing what I thought needed to be done and what I do best, I think, and that's helping people. And so I loved working with our collegiate sorors and being their advisor, and also because of those grounding roots in Omicron Row being my home chapter, there's a special love there. And it's always so heartwarming to me when we can assist younger sorors along the way and they are successful. You know, through their success comes our success, but it's not about our success, it's about them. And I love, 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 love being able to just share in their journey and positively contribute in ways I didn't realize were being noticed. And so that was truly a great time. How has Delta impacted and enriched my life? Many, many ways. I vividly recall May 2011, getting ready to graduate from Mason and sitting around the table with my fellow chapter sorors as well as our alumni sorors. And we had a program called ACE where alumni sorors connected with collegiates, and there was a mentorship program. And we were discussing, or sharing rather, our plans for post-graduation. Go around the table and you get to little old me, and my plan is to graduate. Because at that time, just with the stress and the pressure of figuring out plans for graduation and coordinating all of my family, and then also needing to find a job and to find a place to live, and not to mention academics, right? There's so much happening in that spring semester. And it was just a little overwhelming, admittedly. And I had not prepared for post-graduation. Thankfully, I had my part-time job that I had been working during my collegiate time. So that was there, and I could continue to work there until I figured it out. But that was in this area. And I was adamant about not going back to Petersburg. Love my mama and daddy. But I wanted to stay in this area or move somewhere else. And after that luncheon, one of the alumni sorors who I wasn't as familiar with, her name's Vicky, she approached me and she let me know that she had a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment here in Springfield. And she would let me have that room. And we would work out some type of small, and I mean it was small, y'all, contribution that I would make towards the rent, because she knew I was trying to figure it out. Best and biggest blessing I could have ever asked for, because it was through her small but big, gracious act, I was able to remain in this area. I thankfully secured a full-time job at Mason in August of that same year, and was able to just kind of get my footing. And had it not been for my soror, I may not be a Mason. I may not even have stayed in education. My degree was in psychology. Just knew I was going to be a therapist somewhere. But life had other plans, and it's because of Delta that Vicky was in my life and I was in hers, and we still remain connected today because we're still in the same alumni chapter. And it's just those kinds of bonds that this sorority especially affords.